What I'm about to say is in that holy space between what is known and what is not known. There's a deep reason why this knowledge has been kept hidden. It wasn't supposed to be hidden from you. It just waited for you. It's possible for universal consciousness to have a unique experience through your present form. When you finally accept the truth, it changes everything. Long before language tried to break reality up into separate, rigid pieces, there were people who had a deep knowledge. Real life isn't a fixed, cage-like system that you are stuck in. They knew that. Instead, it's a live field of pure awareness that reacts to the thoughts and feelings it comes across, especially those that come from you. These wise people from long ago didn't make long guides or hard and fast rules. They talked in whispers, through signs, and through stories that gently point beyond them to a power that is sewn into the very fabric of what you call awareness. As a soul remembering what has always been true, you stand at that barrier right now, not as a student gathering facts. The law of attraction is not a smart way to get things that people use to help themselves. It's the basic heart of everything that is. It is the rhythmic, invisible rule that turns potential into real things. The blueprint for every experience that could ever occur is carried by this pulse, which moves through everything like a silent current of light. You send tiny, exact waves through the quantum field with every thought you have. Everything that happens next in your experience is shaped by the emotions you really feel. You aren't reading old books or being told strict rules to understand the deep truth you are meeting now. It is stored in the energy field of who you are. Every idea in this book is meant to be an opening, a change in frequency that connects you with the deeper, more sacred mechanics of how life really works. You may have looked for answers in 1,000 places, like with teachers, books, habits, and methods. But the truth you were looking for has been inside you all along. There is a huge, still, uncharted area between your racing thoughts. This is the quantum womb, where all possibility lives. This is where your awareness shapes reality in a way that your thinking mind can't even begin to understand. This isn't a figure of speech. This is the real, unchanging law that keeps the whole world in order. The information you are getting now has never really been against the law. It just waited for the exact moment when people's attention turned back to themselves. Now that the illusion of separation is falling apart and awareness is growing, these truths rise like old stars coming back to life in the night sky. They are timeless, bright, and familiar to the part of you that is finally ready to see them. What comes next isn't just instructions. It's an initiation, a slow showing of the holy mechanics that make everything you see work. Every phrase has a frequency. Every realization makes a way possible. Remember the power that was never gone, just barely noticed as you stepped through. Take a moment to feel the power of this sentence before we go any further. I'm ready. That's your soul's way of telling the field that you want to see what has been kept from you the whole time. A woman named Evelyn stood every day in front of her grandmother's mirror in a quiet town with worn-out stone streets that let in morning light. She said things that made her feel like she had plenty, but the words didn't fill her up. Her dreams of a happy, fulfilling life stayed annoyingly out of reach, like beautiful, faraway stars she could see but never touch. As she pressed both hands against the cool glass one morning, she saw a tiny crack appear on its surface. Something very important came together at that moment, when everything seemed to be lost. The crack in the mirror showed her that her own mind was also cracked. The mirror didn't need to be fixed. It was how she saw herself that was broken and out of place. The universe is run by a beautiful rule that can't be broken. Your outside world doesn't reflect what you say or what you want. It reflects the vibrational truth of what you really think about yourself. When you say one thing with confidence, but your nervous system is whispering a fear, doubt, or feeling of not being good enough, reality reacts to the frequency that is broadcast the most often and with the most force. This is why repeating wishes without actually experiencing the joy of having them come true is spiritually useless. The mirror of life doesn't respond to what you say, it responds to how you are. Say something strong right now if you're ready to stop depending on empty words and start sending out your true frequency. Write just one word in the comments. State. By doing this simple thing, you send the world your energetic signature, letting it know that you are moving from wanting to being. This word should become a part of your new inner world. Evelyn made a big change when she stopped trying to make things change in the outside world and started focusing on the change in her own frequency. Her morning practice changed from saying empty words to really feeling the truth of her wishes coming true. She could no longer see what was missing in the mirror. It started to show who she was becoming. A small bird kept crashing into a clear window over and over again in a faraway valley, trying desperately to reach the sky it could see mirrored there. The window's clearness turned into a painful prison for the bird because it didn't know that the sky it was looking for was just a mirror. This is how even the best goals can catch us. Until we understand that the way forward isn't more force, but changing the vibrational window through which we see things. For you, reality is like a clear mirror that shows you all of your thoughts, feelings, and core beliefs exactly as they are. When you fully comprehend this process, you hold the soft key to change. You can't get power by trying to change what the mirror shows. That answer lies in becoming the person you want to see in others. As the day slowly fades into darkness, lie down to be completely still. Forget about looking in a mirror. Close your eyes and see yourself in the image of reality. Look at this reflection coming back at you. It's glowing with the peaceful realization of all your dreams. Hold this picture as your last peaceful thought before going to sleep, knowing that the way you see and feel tonight is quietly shaping the world tomorrow. The truth about a seeker named Henry comes out of old wisdom books. He learned that language alone does not have the power to create. He stood at his window every morning with a strong voice and spoke of plenty and wealth until dawn broke. His words were perfect and came from some of the most well-known masters of manifestation. But nothing changed in his world. It seemed like the world couldn't hear him. The universe, with its infinite wisdom, doesn't pay attention to the poetry you write. It hears the music you play. If your emotional body sends out a message of fear or doubt, your aware mind might be speaking a different language. This makes a frequency clash that the law of attraction can't handle. Henry made him feel sick to his stomach when he talked about money. When he said he loved her, his chest felt heavy with the usual weight of being alone. Although his positive words were floating higher, his main energy state was falling, which caused a spiritual halt. Finally, we get to the main idea. The universe reacts to your frequency, not your vocabulary. You need to tune your whole instrument, not just remember the right song words, like a skilled and intuitive musician. When you strike these subtle strings with purpose, they send clear vibrations into the field of creation in the universe. Just picture an old radio in a quiet mountain abbey. A young monk worked non-stop for days to connect to the holy signals. His radio buzzed with noise between two stations that were clear. The first channel was calm and wise, while the second was noisy and stressful. The interference wouldn't go away no matter how well he spoke the mantras, until he learned to change his own mental frequency first. The clear channel that sent him the exact direction he was looking for didn't show up until his heart was truly at peace. This is like how you interact with the rule of attraction. Your mental frequency needs to match the frequency of what you are saying and what you want. Any strong statements you make get lost in the noise when fear makes your vibration static. However, reality has no choice but to show that your thoughts and words are in sync when they are. Find a place where no one will bother you. Relax in a comfortable chair and take 3 slow, calming breaths. As you do this, let your mind slowly fall into your body. Say your name out loud, slowly and with focus. Pay attention to how the sound changes your state of mind by moving through your chest and throat. Say your name over and over, letting its vibration fill you up fully. This is how the world really sees your energy, not as words, but as a pure, unified frequency. Listen to the difference between speaking from your throat and speaking from your whole body. This sense of sound and mood being in sync with each other is your best guide for powerful yet gentle manifestation. As Clara walked from vendor to vendor in a busy, colorful market, she picked up charms and diamonds that were supposed to bring her luck. Even though she had beads around her neck and arms full of stones, her heart was still looking. She ended up at a tea place that didn't look like much. There was an old woman inside who waved her through the door with eyes that seemed to see past the present moment. The woman said as she poured tea into a clay cup, "You are looking for many laws, but there is only one real law: awareness." They could feel steam rising between them as Clara's things hit the wooden floor. The woman went on, "The universe works with a single, beautiful mechanism. Whatever you really believe to be real must show up in your experience. Your opinion isn't just a lens through which you see things. What you see is actually the architecture building it." Every spiritual teaching, practice, and metaphysical law is based on this one fact. Ultimately, it all comes down to this one truth. Your experience is made up of the things you recognize. When you really understand this, you understand that luck is not something you have to bring to you with things. It comes naturally when your awareness is connected. A calm stream runs through the eastern mountains, and kids like to play by it. A little girl named Maya showed this idea without knowing what it was called. While other people carefully planned their way across the wet stepping stones, Maya just walked. Every step she took landed on solid ground just where she needed it to. The stones seemed to rise from the water at the same time that her foot hit the ground, as if they were reacting to her clear-headedness. From the outside, it looked like she was walking by faith alone. But Maya wasn't just believing what she thought. She moved in perfect sync with a plan she couldn't see, but knew she had to follow. Because she was so aware of the chance of safe passage, the universe had no choice but to give it to her. This is a great example of how consciousness makes reality. Being aware is not the same as passively observing. It means taking an active role in what happens. The universe must work together to make something true happen in your real world when you know it to be true at the deepest, most cellular level. Clara didn't waste the crystals and charms she found. They were ways to draw attention to something. But if you don't understand that awareness is the creative force itself, those tools are just empty words that can't really change things. You may have noticed that once you really focus on something, like a certain answer, a fresh chance, or a certain kind of car, it starts to show up in all the different parts of your life. It's not an accident. This is how the law of awareness works. Your recognition makes it possible for possibility to become fact. It was never the methods or the tools that gave them power. All of those things always helped with the shift in understanding. When you know this, you have the key to creating everything you want without any work. Find a moment of stillness before you make a big choice or do something important. Close your eyes and say these words to yourself in a soft, deep voice. I trust my awareness to show me the next step. Don't hold on to this as a dream or a wish. Accept it as one of the things that is already true. Then, go about your day with your mind open and ready to listen. Pay attention for the synchronicities, signs, and small nudges that show up. There's no chance in these games. This is mind itself talking to you through your experiences. They are the steps that appear under your feet and show you the best way to move forward. A woman named Vera stood in her corner office in the middle of a huge city where desire flowed like a restless river. She was surrounded by accomplishments that somehow felt empty. With each goal she reached, she felt happy for a short time, but it didn't last long. Inside, the silence kept getting worse. Even though her life was everything that society thought of as successful, real peace was still impossible to reach. When you feel something, the world talks to you. This old idea shows that feelings are more than just responses to events. They are messages from God that point you toward or away from your truest, best path. Feelings of happiness, excitement, or peace are signs that you are on the right path with your soul's purpose. These feelings of worry, anger, or sadness are not punishments. They love making changes to their plans. Your feelings are like a holy guide that always points you in the right direction. It's possible to use each feeling as an exact gauge to tell if your inner energy is expanding or contracting. Looking at things this way, your tough feelings become helpful guides that show you exactly where you need to focus your attention and gently redirect your focus. A lost traveler named Alexandra lived in a small mountain town in the middle of nowhere. She carried a strange compass in her pack that spun wildly whenever she followed the tracks that other people had picked out for her. For years, she ignored its strange behavior and kept going in the same old ways that made her tired and confused. As dawn light hit the mountaintops one morning, she saw that the compass wasn't broken. It wasn't pointing in the direction of magnetic north. It led her to her true calling. Just like Alexandra found, your inner compass will always point you in the right direction. You've lost touch with your truth when you feel squished, heavy, or reluctant. When you feel light, open, and at peace, you are walking in perfect harmony with the knowledge of your soul. Think about what this inner direction could do for someone you know if it speaks to you. Share this transmission, and you're not just sending a link, you're also making the group quantum field bigger. You should show this video to one person who you think is ready to remember. The energy you send out comes back to you stronger, speeding up your own path of harmony. This practice has the power to change things. Every morning, before the pressures of the world fill your mind, take a moment to gently feel how you're feeling. Just ask yourself, do I feel open or closed today? Let the answer come to you naturally, without judging it. Use this feeling to help you decide what to do. Follow the road of openness, even if it goes against what most people think or expect. There's a soft, persistent way for the world to lead you back to yourself through your feelings. A woman named Ruthie lived in a small cottage on the edge of the forest. She spent her days carefully taking care of everyone but herself. In the lost parts of her heart, her deepest dreams were gathering dust. She quickly brushed off any desire for more as selfish, unworthy, or not spiritual. whether it was for adventure, wealth, or artistic expression. This is the truth that will make your soul happy. Your wants are not based on random urges or greed for material things. They are the way the world talks to you. People who feel a beautiful longing in their soul are feeling the eternal force of creation trying to show itself in a new way, through you. What the ocean does is make waves, and the infinite does the same thing with your wishes. The power that spins galaxies and opens flowers is connected to the desire that's going through you. It's the same force, but your mind makes it your own. If you ignore your wants, you're going against the flow of life. Your dreams aren't too big. They are perfectly tuned to the soul that holds them. People who told you not to trust your desires got the pure urge to create mixed up with the ego's desperate grasping. When you really want something, you feel inspired, happy, and like your wings are getting ready to spread. It doesn't bring down other people. Instead, it makes everything better. A tiny seed grew among the old cedars, hidden deep under layers of leaves that had fallen. It didn't question its need for light or its desire to reach for the sun. The seed's desire was its fate speaking. It was nature's intelligence coming out of its shell. During the long, dark winter, this desire kept it going and helped it grow until it finally came out into spring's embrace. Like that seed, your goals hold the instructions for how you will become. There are dreams in your heart, just like there are seeds in the ground. You shouldn't judge these desires. Instead, you should feed them and believe that the same wisdom that guides the stars and seasons also guides your soul's longings. Being in tune with the creative power of the universe means giving your wants your full attention without attachment. Your dreams are not just hopes. They are holy directions that will help you reach your highest and happiest expression. Every night when the sky is getting softer at dusk, sit quietly and think. Focus on 3 natural wants that come up for you while putting your hand on your heart. Say them not as requests or cries for help, but as a gentle acknowledgement of the divine flow that is going through you. This isn't a regular way to ask. It's a way to respect the sacred conversation going on between your soul and the infinite. Know that your wishes are the universe's way of dreaming itself into new forms through you, and let them be seen. A woman named Louisa held her manifestation book like a shield and crossed off things on her long lists and schedules in a busy market square. Each morning, she compared her progress to exact goals, getting more and more angry as life wouldn't go the way she had planned. Things seemed to slip through her fingers like water the more she tried to control them. Most people miss this truth. There is a much more complex rule behind how the world works than just cause and effect. When you try to plan out every aspect of your manifestations, you create resistance, which is a vibrational friction that stops the smooth flow of wealth. This friction isn't caused by the desire itself. It comes from the idea that control and struggle are important for creation. The law of attraction doesn't care about what you do. It cares about how you feel. You send out a frequency of lack when you're stressed out and over-planning. This signal says, "I need to handle everything because I don't trust life's intelligence." You can't get what you want because you don't trust yourself. There is already everything you need for your effects in the quantum field. Your real job isn't to make them happen. This is done so that they can come true by taking the easiest route. The universe, with its infinite wisdom, sees links and options that you can't even begin to imagine. It has the power to make things happen more gracefully than your most detailed plans ever could. An old fisherman named Xavier lived on the shore of a long-ago sea. It seemed like every day he would throw out his net and pull hard against the waves. His nets were empty, his arms were tired, and fish seemed to be able to avoid him no matter how hard he tried. One morning, he was so tired that he just let go of the net. To his surprise, as it drifted with the stream, it filled up with fish that were drawn to the way it moved slowly through the water. What you're looking for is looking for you. This is a simple truth that keeps coming up. Giving up wasn't loss for the fisherman. It was in line. He let go of his tight grip on things and let natural forces work in his favor. There were fish all the time. They had stayed away because of his fight. You let go of the how and the when, and the world shows you the best way to do things at the right time. This isn't just waiting, it's active allowing, a state of alert openness in which you know what you want, but are open to different ways of getting it. Think about how a flower grows. It doesn't stretch or fight. It just faces the sun and opens up to let it in. It will grow because it is in line with natural law, not because of force. When you learn to trust the process, your manifestations will flow with the same natural ease. Find a place that is quiet and won't bother anyone. Find a relaxed spot and take 3 deep breaths to calm down. Feel the stress of being in charge slowly leaving your body with each breath. Now think of something you've been trying to make happen. Instead of making plans or strategies, just say to yourself, "It's already set up." Feel the wave of comfort that comes from not having to be in charge. This sense of relief can be your prayer and gift to the world. Whenever you feel like you're falling back into forceful thought, remember these words and how they make you feel. This is not giving up. Giving up control means letting a greater intelligence guide you to your goals. As the saying goes, the moment we let go of the oars of control, the universe sets the sails. Stop right now if you are ready to give up the fight and accept that everything will work out as it should. Take a deep breath and tell the field what you want to do. I trust the current is what you need to write. This promise breaks the cycle of struggle and puts you in a place where creation is easy. Nora was sitting with colored pencils and paper in a yard that got some sun. Not only was she drawing her dreams, she was also giving them life. With each stroke, she filled the pictures with the essence of her deepest desires. A peaceful house with a view of the ocean, a healing center that was thriving, and gardens that were full of life. Something very strange happened while she drew. As if to let her know they were going to be born, the pictures started to pulse with energy that reached back to her. This holy action shows a basic truth about how the world works. Your thought isn't just a dream. It connects the concept of formless possibility to the real world. When you imagine with feeling, you open up a creative channel between your mind and the world of possibilities. Every clear picture you have in your mind becomes a pattern in the quantum field that draws in the parts it needs to come to life. It's not your words or deeds that the universe responds to first. It's the vivid images you have in your mind. When these pictures are kept alive with emotional energy, they turn into magnetic fields that bring their physical versions into being. This is why idle daydreams don't come true very often. They do not have the long-lasting, creative power of a felt, purposeful mind. A young builder named Hassan lived in the old city of Kashan. At night, he had visions of beautiful buildings. Some people thought Hassan's detailed daydreams were just his mind wandering, but Hassan knew they weren't. Every night, he would picture himself walking through his made-up palaces, savoring the cool marble under his feet, the sound of fountains splashing, and the way light and shadow played with each other. As the years went by, Visitors started to talk about amazing new buildings being built in faraway places that looked exactly like the ones Hassan had imagined in his mind. The fact that his imagined building had gone from being a thought to a real thing shows that the unseen always comes before the seen. A timeless truth is whispered in this story. What you hold clearly and deeply in your mind must, by universal law, find form. The real world is just the last step in a creative process that starts in the realm of pure potential. But this changes everything. A lot of people picture things from a place of, I don't have this yet. Hassan didn't think of his castles as something that wasn't there. He lived in them. He walked through their halls. He could feel their truth. That's what makes fantasy different from real creative vision. Find a place that is quiet and won't bother anyone. Don't look at anything and resist the urge to picture particular things or outcomes. Instead, give yourself over to the feeling you want the most. It could be deep peace, endless wealth, or love that knows no limits. Feel this way for 5 minutes, as if it were already yours. Let it fill you up completely. Don't try too hard to make it happen. You should just let yourself become this feeling in real life. The universe will put together the right shapes to match the way you feel. In the mountains, a woman named Beatrice did what many spiritual masters told her to do every morning. She wrote down her blessings on gratitude lists. In spite of this, her heart got heavier, not lighter with each writing. The words were empty recitals that didn't bring any real happiness. You create resistance to the wealth you want to recognize when you try to be grateful. The path of true appreciation is natural, like water making its way downstream. You can't tell or force it to happen. The universe reacts not to what you write, but to the sound you make. Being grateful comes naturally to you, and it turns into a strong, expanding force of pull that makes what you appreciate even more. This is the secret to abundance. It's not counting your gifts that makes you rich. It's being naturally grateful for everything you have. A wise man who was always on the move once told the story of Sophia, a talented musician whose songs had lost their magic. She worked hard to tune her instrument every night, pulling on the strings until they were almost broken. Even though her music was perfectly perfect, people weren't moved by it. Sophia began to hum one night as she sat under the stars to enjoy the beauty of the night. Something had changed as she reached for her instrument. She didn't try to force the strings to play, but instead let thanks guide her fingers. People felt their souls and hearts change as the music played that night. She learned that real unity doesn't come from conflict, but from valuing each other. This old knowledge shows a very important truth. Being grateful is a pattern, not a skill that you need to get better at. When you show real gratitude, you set off a resonance that brings you more experiences that are worth thanking. It turns into the energy key that opens doors to more profound levels of experience. Your thanks don't have to be big or hard to understand. Small acknowledgments, when they are sincere, have more power than long, flowery words that come from a sense of duty. One genuine moment of gratitude sends waves through the fabric of reality, opening up ways to have more wealth. Think of a simple, easy pleasure from the day every night as you get ready for bed. It could be the feel of the sun on your face, the taste of fresh water, or the sound of a soft laugh. If you want to feel this emotion, don't force it. Then close your eyes and whisper the word enough. Feel how this one word, when paired with real gratitude, makes you more aware of all the good things in your life. This isn't a drill in thinking positively. Getting back in touch with your normal state of being brings you more of what you value. In a busy city, a woman named Hazel rushed through her days and did everything by herself. "The universe doesn't care about my little problems," she would say, as she dragged her heavy spirit from one job to the next. Until one morning, when they were already late for a big meeting, something changed. Each and every traffic light went green one after the other. The elevator door was closing, but someone held it open. A missed meeting gave her the perfect time to give her presentation. These events may seem unrelated, but they are the language of support for everyone. What you think is a coincidence is actually synchronicity, which is life's invisible hand reacting to how you're feeling. You can let these unseen currents take you toward your highest good when you let go of the need to control everything that happens. The world works through a complex web of intelligence that is beyond our understanding. You don't have to believe in this divine arrangement for it to work, just like gravity doesn't need your permission to work. When you recognize these forces, though, you invite them to be a part of your journey. There was a time when a great kite maker taught his apprentice something that will always be true. The young student worked hard to get his kite into the air by sheer willpower. "You cannot see the wind," he said, "but you can invite it to dance with your kite." The apprentice let go of his creation, and all of a sudden, unseen currents lifted it into the air with ease. Like the wind, which you can't see but is very strong, spiritual help is always flowing around you. You are not supposed to control these forces. Instead, you should work with them. If you stop fighting the flow, you'll see that it was always moving in your direction. No matter if you call them angels, spirit guides, or universal intelligence, these unseen helpers work in perfect agreement with natural law. They don't listen to cries of desperation, but to lively invitations. They will follow the sign of your quiet trust. Most of the time, the biggest miracles happen in whispers, as the intuitive nudge or the meeting that changes everything at the right time. There's no chance in these games. They are reactions to the way your vibrations are right now. When you're not sure what to do, pause and whisper, "Show me the easiest way." Then, just be still and let your thoughts settle down like leaves in a calm pond. The first soft picture that comes to mind, a word, an image, or a feeling, is your guide. Believe this hidden message. The world doesn't shout. It speaks to you through the quiet confidence of what you already know. A woman named Marjorie lived in a quiet town and spent her days taking care of everyone else's needs except her own. Every morning, she rushed past mirrors, trying not to look at herself because she had a lot to do. People who said nice things about her work, she ignored them. When chances came up, she stepped back and let other people shine. So her world got smaller, just the right size for the space she gave herself. Perfect reflection is a natural rule that the universe follows, just like gravity. It's not a punishment or a reward. The pattern that all other events must follow is set by your relationship with yourself. When you recognize your own worth, the world does the same. When you turn down your own light, reality has no choice but to do the same. Marjorie's big step forward came as a surprise. She saw that the silver still caught the light, even though it was worn and scratched, while she was cleaning her grandmother's old mirror. "Even worn, it still shines," she said in a low voice. That one easy observation caused a huge change. She started taking care of herself the same way she did other people. Her inner conversation got softer, and so did the world around her. There were chances that she had missed before that were now in front of her. Relationships that used to drain her energy turned into ones that gave her strength. 2 monks lived in the mountains of Tibet and took care of old tuning forks. When the first monk struck his fork, the second fork would start to hum without being touched. It was only reacting to the vibrations in the air. This is how life reacts to the way you relate to yourself. Your frequency makes a vibration that the rest of the world has to match. Every event outside of you fits in with your inner tone. This advice is right on time for your trip. You have to give yourself respect, love, or plenty before you can get them from others. Every other relationship is opened up by the connection you have with yourself. What you see in the outside world is a mirror of how you feel about yourself. What word best describes the highest energy you want to hold for yourself from now on? Is it worth it? Is it peace? Is it without limits? Leave that one strong word in the comments. When you name the frequency you want to use, you are consciously tuning your inner instrument so that reality matches. Stand in front of your mirror every morning. As you say your name, treat it with the care you would give a close friend. As I treat myself, so shall life treat me, you must say with your hand on your heart. I choose to see my own worth, and when I do, the universe shows me its value. This is how you should connect with the law of reflection every day. Mystics and teachers have talked about this final moment for ages, when the seeker realizes they are the thing that was sought. Along the spiral road of manifestation, you have slowly found your way back to its beginning and are now waiting there. What seemed forbidden was really just the deep simplicity that the power you sought is you. You don't have to learn the law of attraction. You are seeing your own consciousness back at you. Every desire that made you feel good was the world calling itself into new form through you. Every happy coincidence was your higher self winking at you through the wall of separation. You now comprehend that the goal of manifestation is to let your real self shine through, not to acquire things. Reality's mirror has always shown you your main energy, not to judge, but to show. Your feelings were never problems. They were tools for fine-tuning that helped you connect with your true frequency. This knowledge changes everything and nothing at the same time. The techniques are still useful, but not as ways to get somewhere. Instead, they are useful as ways to show off your creativity. Vision boards let your divine ideas run wild. Affirmations change into songs that remind us of the past. Through meditation, you move from wanting to being. You write your own experiences, not by trying hard or pushing yourself, but by the natural brightness of being awake. The universe doesn't do what you want it to do. It watches as you witness yourself becoming more and more joyful. Accept this knowledge and let it soak into your cells. You're not learning how to make things. You are remembering that you are the very creation of the world. Every breath is a gift. Every beat of the heart is holy. Every time is the beginning. You've always been what you were looking for. This truth was brought to light on the trip. If these words really spoke to you, you might want to read them again tomorrow morning before you start your day. Before the world pulls you in different ways, let it gently change your frequency. Know that when you share these principles, you're not just giving someone information if you feel called to do so, and that person is ready to remember who they really are. You are starting a memory field that grows in both of you and them. You become a spark that wakes up everyone else. I want you to do one more thing before you leave. Leave one word below that describes the change you want to make right now. That is, not what you want, but the energy you have right now. This is the quantum field's record of your energy. This is you saying, I remember. Also, click subscribe if you want to stay in this strong frequency. Not only to stay linked, but also to stay on track, to stay high. and to stay in line with this truth. Because here's the beautiful and powerful secret. The world reflects this truth more when more of us live it. We're not just one-person manifestos. We are a field of mind as a whole. And everything changes when we work together. It's not over yet. Now you're starting to remember who you've always been. You are the universe's dreams coming true. You now understand it. Last thing to do to solidify this new frequency. If this transmission hit home with you and made you deeply aware of your real power, honor that shift. Click the like button below. This is more than just a thank you click. It's a vibrational message to the world that you agree with this truth. The like button is your energy agreement, and it turns on the quantum field of memory inside you right now.